Back underway then, Neil Robertson at the point of no return. He trails by 2 frames. He needs the remaining 3 if he's to keep alive his hopes of the Shanghai Masters title. Junhui has been at the top of his game today. Neil Robertson not far behind, if truth be told. Remember, he cracked in a century to level the match at 2-all. Was a little unlucky in the 5th when he didn't get position he deserved off an excellent shot. But it's Ding who's taken his chances very well, and he's played an excellent tactical game as well. And he's now just a frame away from defeating the world #1 and moving into the semi-finals, where he will play either Mark Selby or Barry Hawkins. That's a tight battle as well. Selby with a 26-point lead in frame 6. He leads 3-2. And remember, earlier on today, victories for Zhao Guodong against Mark Davis 5-4 and Michael Holt 5-1 over Kyron Wilson. So it's Guodong against Holt in the first semi. You can enjoy them here with us live on Eurosport. Best of 11 semi-final stages onwards. Final over. Best of 19, I should say. As Robertson finds a long red, and he needs to produce pots like that right now.
Yeah, he's unlucky where he's finished there, Neil Robertson. As you say, Phil, he's not played badly today. He's played his part in what's been a great match so far. I say it many times to other professionals in the game, you don't have to do much wrong these days and you're on your way home. He never got a look in the first frame today. A couple of little mistakes in frame 3. The last couple of frames, well, frame 5, just 1 or 2 little mistakes, but once again never got a look in that last frame. In between that, he should have break a 70 and 104. He's just come up against a guy in top form today in Ding Junhui so far. And having not reached the green there with a roll up, Ding Junhui didn't even need to come out his chair, straight back in.
Well, we talked about how important the tactical side of this match would be, Alan, at the outset, because we know what great break builders and potters these players are, and it's been at the very highest calibre, the safety, but you would say that Ding has probably just edged it.
Yeah, that's a good assessment, I think, Phil. Not by much, but as I've said, it doesn't need to be by much at this level with 2 guys of this class.
Good hit from Robertson. He will battle to the last ball, you can be certain of that. There's nothing wrong with the Aussies' temperament. Rock hard match player. This is a long way from being over. Many a time we've seen 4-2 deficits retrieved. We've seen a couple this week. Rob Milkins, remember, was 4-2 to the good against Mark Selby in the second round, only to be pipped in the final frame. Another good safety from Ding. Once again, cue ball very close to the baulk cushion. It's spent most of its time there during this match.
Yeah, and Neil Robertson here can't really just send the red up and down the table. He's going to leave a red to left middle or the far corner if he does. That's the shot he's played, but as I say, regardless of how well he plays this, if Ding wants to take this red on, he can do it. One of those shots where sometimes you just feel like you fancy potting it, other times you don't. It looks like he's taking it on. then, half chance for Neil Robertson. What can he make of it? Got to try and get himself back in this match quickly. Didn't quite play that as planned. Now what sort of angle, if any, does he have on this yellow? Yeah, you could see he could do very little. Couldn't have played that any better now. Still has a chance with this red. It's going to be cannoning into the green. You just got to judge this well. Never quite sure where the cue ball's going to finish.
4.
Well, anywhere but there, really. Mark Selby has taken a 4-2 lead now over Barry Hawkins on the other table, so Selby just a frame away.
He's having a battle for these, isn't he, Neil Robertson? Black's tied up, pink's tied up.
Ten.
Where does the black go?
I think it's virtually touching that red, isn't it? So it's just going to be a safety. He can play an attacking one though, up behind the baulk colours if he wishes. Quite a big target.
Robertson 10.
Wanted to just slip past the brown there, didn't he? If he had done so, he'd have been right on the baulk cushion again with the cue ball.
Yeah, just fractions again, isn't it, coming into play there. He's a quarter of an inch from having Ding Junhui in all sorts of trouble. Right. Ding's going to be tracking in behind the baulk colours. And that looks pretty good, this does.
Well,
brilliant.
Ding hasn't hit more than 1 or 2 loose safeties in the entire match. And he's hit a lot of top-class ones just like that. There's the bird's eye view that Robertson will have in a moment. And as you see, not much to go at.
Yeah, certainly no return to baulk. He may just play the 2-cushion escape here. It's hard to see how he can even play the dump shot. He just has to avoid the cannon on the black here. Yeah, it's always going to be difficult, and he's left Ding an absolute sitter.
Yep.
Well, once again, Ding's superb tactical prowess has carved out an opening. It's the frame he needs, remember, to seal victory and a place in the semis. And he's got a good opportunity for a sizable break at least here.
Yeah, if this match so far is anything to go by, you fancy Ding Junhui to make a sizable contribution here should this black go in.
And you get the impression that we may not have seen the best of Ding Junhui yet Alan. He's already achieved so much in the game, but I get the sense that every year he's maturing that little bit, toughening up that temperament to go with the huge talent that he has.
9.
He certainly looked very focused on the job here in Shanghai this week, coming through that nail biter against Sean Murphy, who played very well himself.
Yeah, when he gets his head right, Junhui, he's an absolute handful for anyone, isn't he?
16.
Now, he'd like to just hold for the black here if he can.
17.
Yeah. Absolute prime position then. The lead is just 17 when this black goes in, but plenty of loose reds to go at. And Junhui, of course,
25.
is normally very good at getting over the winning line. Always the hardest frame to win of a match is the last one. As I say, he's usually so reliable.
Played that very nicely.
32.
He's a couple of shots away here from really having this frame at his mercy. Already 25 to the good.
Yeah, I don't blame him for just taking his time here. It may look an obvious frame winning chance, but the reds are a little bit covering one another. He doesn't really want to take the one that takes him up the top side of the blue, because then it can go wrong. That's why he's trying to convince himself that he can get this one. Oh, played it to perfection though.
All Neil Robertson can do is sit and hope. That's the cruelty of snooker. When your opponent's at the table, doesn't matter how good you are, you've got to sit and suffer.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been very impressive, hasn't he, Junhui, in every department today. As I say, he's a real handful when he's in this kind of form.
Would like to have come just a little bit further, but should be okay. Making sure he gets the right side of the blue. He's absolutely in the zone out there. I think Neil Robertson will be fearing the worst.
Yeah, he's had it on a string, hasn't he? The cue ball for the most part this evening. So there you see the 45-point lead, red-black. Should put him over the winning line.
He hasn't played badly by any means, Robertson. 70 break, another more than 50. And of course, that century as well.
$53.
46 the lead then.
Yeah, I'd like to have been a little closer to this black. This is effectively match ball because position obviously is automatic.
In it goes, the crowd get excited, they know that was the ball, and with the elementary red to follow, it's Ding Junhui who's moving into the semi-finals. And what a performance the Chinese has put on in front of his home crowd. This has been a real masterclass against a top opponent. He's had to get past Sean Murphy, and now he's got past Neil Robertson.
68.
And the dream final of Ding Junhui against young Zhao Guodong is still a possibility.
What an occasion that would be. Zhao, the qualifier, of course, has had an amazing run, beating Maguire, Lyons and Davis earlier today. Now, only Michael Holt standing in his way of a ranking final. What a story that would be. Remember, this guy won a ranking final as a wild card, beating Stephen Hendry in the final for his first major success. And who would bet against him on this form, going to a 7th ranking
82.
triumph this weekend. A lot of snooker to be played yet, but Ding is at the top of his game right now, and that's bad news for the rest of the field.
Yeah, I say the dream final, of course, that's for the locals out here in Shanghai. I'm sure they would love to see an all Chinese final.
Be quite a story, wouldn't it, Alan?
Absolutely it would. He's carried the flag for so long now, hasn't he, Ding? Be nice to see another one up there challenging for the titles.
And I'm sure he would like to see it too, because it would take a bit of the heat off him and a bit of the spotlight away from Ding. Has to deal with
96.
so much pressure of being expected to win. But stand by for the century.
102.
Number 312 in his illustrious career. He made 57 alone last season. This is his 12th of the campaign. What a way to round out victory. A terrific match. Neil Robertson graciously congratulates Ding, but that was a match full of high quality snooker, and the tactical play was right out of the top drawer, and Ding polishing off a 5-2 victory over Neil Robertson in style with that century break. He is through to the semi-finals, where he will play either Mark Selby or Barry Hawkins, and on that form he is going to take quite a bit of stopping. Congratulations to Ding Junhui.